Hello, my name is Grace Morrison, and I am Bryant and Stratton's online librarian. I wanted to take a few minutes to talk to you about something that I've seen students doing in online education and show you how to avoid that. So, the first thing that I have noticed is that sometimes students will search up for their paper something like this, and they'll run a search and they'll find a job that they or a posting or something that they really like, and they'll copy and paste about two sentences from it, because their assignment said that they needed to include a medical assistant salary, and then they'll run a search like this. They'll run a search like this, and they'll copy and paste two or three sentences from a job description, and maybe they'll run another search for medical assistant duties, and they'll copy and paste a couple of sentences of that, and they'll sort of string everything together, and they'll have a big block of text that is well written but maybe doesn't flow very well. And in truth, that doesn't make an academic paper. So what I would suggest doing is that you want to follow the routine that you have there. You have a good idea. So you want a paragraph about a medical assistant's salary, and you want a paragraph about a medical assistant's job description, and then you want another paragraph about a medical assistant's duties. So what I would suggest doing actually is going to the Bryant and Stratton virtual library. And rather than stringing together a bunch of copy and pasted pieces, is that you just run a search for medical assistant. And when you're in here, you're going to see that there are lots of articles here. And the first thing I would want to do is just run a search for medical assistant. And if what I didn't see wasn't here, then I might add a word or something like that. But the most important thing to do is to slow down and read. Writing good work takes a little bit longer once you're in college and you're doing it the academic way. And the virtual library might not call it the same thing that we would on a Google search, because Google's going to use our natural language, and the virtual library is going to be a little more academic. So here, this says sphere of work. That's the same thing as job description, really. And then we have work environment, occupation interest, a day in the life, duties and responsibilities. Everything would be here that you need to write a research paper on what a medical assistant does. And sometimes there might even be links in here to take you to other academic papers. And so what you need to do is you would say, according to the author, and you put quotation marks around it, and then you can use a quote from the text. I would stick to one sentence. And in that time, there are pieces here that are really important that make citation a little bit easier for you. The little quotation mark over here or the cite button is a good piece to use. And every time that you read an article for your research project, you have a page that says references, and you take this piece right here and you're going to copy and paste them in alphabetical order. So if I go back and I want to run a search for medical assistant career, same source there. I think this might be a good one, and I like this resource, and I read it, and there are a few quotes that I want to pull from it. I'm going to add this citation to my reference list, and this list would be in alphabetical order. And I think you'll find that most of the time instructors expect at least two, probably four sources for your paper, especially if it's one or two pages. So keeping a list like this or using some of the tools in the virtual library to send them or email them to yourself is a really good way to avoid plagiarism. A really good way to get in trouble for plagiarism is to use Google and go out on the web and start copying and pasting quotes and stringing them together and thinking that that merges together to make a good paper.